For months, the News Channel 3 I-team investigated what some in Lansing are calling a severe case of taxpayer waste.
And we can tell you the story that you're about to see has already prompted 3 ongoing state investigations. News Channel 3's chief investigative reporter David Bailey joins us now to tell us what we found in this Waste Watch investigation.
Kate and Andy, many people in Michigan state government are downright angry about what we found in this investigation. And after digging deeper to get the truth, we found that you, the taxpayer, shouldn't just be worried about a worker potentially not putting in a full day of work. For weeks, we had been watching this unfold, and it was time to start asking questions. Hi, Werner. Hi, David Bailey. A state elevator inspector getting his game on. We tracked his highs and lows, the highs and lows of his golf game. Can you talk about that?
Well, not really.
Werner Van Knoll, card-carrying state employee. We couldn't believe the tip that came in about this guy. To find out whether it was happening for weeks, we did surveillance in the parking lot of the Moores, and we didn't swing and miss. We were told Knoll golfed here all the time, even during the state's business hours.
August 15th.
On this day, he parked his vehicle at 11:30 a.m. at the golf club's parking lot, ready to go get him. While he played, we waited and waited and waited. 3:34 p.m., he was done after his round of 18. But after he loaded his golf clubs with his buddy nearby, this state employee, well, he wasn't ready to go back to inspecting an elevator at a rate of pay of more than $30 an hour to taxpayers. Instead, he sat and sat and sat and then zoomed back to the clubhouse again. About 30 minutes later, 4:07, and he's taken off. Nearly 5 hours at the golf course during the state's business day of 8 to 5. 4 days later, Werner Van Knoll was back again at the Moores Golf Course. You can see him backing that black vehicle up to the trees. We sat there so close by and watched him prepare for what could be a long day at the golf course. He had everything with him: his clubs, got his towels, pink shirt, white hat, liquid in the front and liquid in the back. And just like that, he scrambled. Let's be clear, Knoll has an important job for safety. He must inspect hundreds of elevators in West Michigan to make sure people don't get hurt. He logs all of his work every day. Documents obtained through the Freedom of Information Act show on August 19th, Knoll said he put in his full 8 hours, doing elevator inspections at only 2 locations. On August 15th, Knoll signed his log again that he did elevator inspections at just 2 locations along the lakeshore, but he didn't put any hours on his log for that day. A round of golf? Well, that wasn't on either list. At this point, we wondered how long this was going to continue. 3 days later, we got our answer. And wait until you see what we found this next time around. But first, still here. There he was again before noon in the Moores parking lot. This time, we got on the course with him to see all the fun he's having on this beautiful day. Back at the clubhouse, I got the courage to flip open his license plate holder, and oh boy. Turns out he wasn't just bringing his work with him to this golf club. That car he was bringing to the course, this unmarked black Chevy Impala, we found is indeed owned by you, the taxpayer. August 26th, August 29th, we watched him golf 2 more times out here. Finally, when he arrived and we saw him golfing during business hours for the 6th time on September 9th, it was time to ask him what's up. We saw him pull his government vehicle into the parking lot just after 12:30. On his way to the clubhouse, he clapped and said his hellos and got ready to roll as we watched him from afar. So we wanted to ask him some questions right here on the golf course. This is hole 3 at the Moores Country Club, and we caught him just as he was putting right there on green number 3. Hi, Werner. Hi, David Bailey for Channel 3. I was wondering perhaps why you were out golfing today.
What's that?
Are you supposed to be working or golfing today?
Working or golfing?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You work as an elevator inspector.
I've got the day off.
You have the day off today?
Right.
What about over the last 4 weeks when we've seen you out here several times during work days? Can you talk about that?
Well, not really.
You don't want to talk about that?
No, I don't want to talk about that.
We continued to press for answers as to why he was out here playing, but Noel didn't want to talk anymore. Full speed ahead.
Why are you running away from us so fast?
Now we know from documents we obtained, Noel wasn't off that day. In fact, minutes after our confrontation with him on the golf course, Noel made a call to his department secretary to tell his bosses he had a problem. Through the Freedom of Information Act, we know Noel didn't tell his bosses he had been confronted by a television crew on the golf course. He told them that really he had to take 5 hours of non-pre-approved leave time because his ankle is bothering him. About an hour after our confrontation, we alerted his bosses at the State Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs as to what we found, and that's when all the state investigations began. Documents the I-Team obtained indicate that on 4 of the days we saw him golfing, logs filled out and signed by Noel and submitted to the state show he put 8 hours of work down. The other 2 days, he didn't add up his hours at all. Multiple official sources have indicated to us that Noel didn't have to report to an office, but was supposed to hit the road to inspect from either 7 to 4 or 8 to 5. After all, the elevators in most businesses would not be available for inspection beyond the state's typical business hours. Though Noel's attorney, Jim Hills, today disputes what the state's telling us and issued a statement to us, quote, Noel was under the understanding he could work outside the hours of 8 to 5. As for work performance, we did some history on this, and documents indicate Noel did not complete a chunk of what he had to do annually for inspections over the last 3 years. When we looked at the entire elevator division, our I-Team investigation found the state is falling terribly behind in inspecting elevators across the state with a total of 23 inspectors. We found many elevators haven't been inspected in several years, including this one that hadn't been inspected since 2009. 2 reports from the Auditor General, one from 2001 and one from 2010, found the elevator division in this state, quote, did not inspect elevators and elevating equipment in a timely manner. We found in this investigation the backlog of inspections due is up 3,000 from where it was in August 2012. The folks at Licensing and Regulatory Affairs didn't answer questions on camera pending ongoing investigations, though leaders did issue a statement to us, quote, Laura takes these allegations very seriously, and we are working closely with the Attorney General on this investigation. This incident has also prompted us to review internal systems to make every effort possible to ensure this type of behavior does not occur again. We are focused on working with the legislature and continuing our efforts to improve the efficiency of our inspection process so that all elevator inspections are done in an effective and timely manner. Governor Rick Snyder says the Attorney General in this state is investigating any criminal wrongdoing.
Yeah, I know you've been doing an investigation on someone in licensing and regulation, and it sounds like they should be investigated.
As for Noel's status, we found he is currently on paid sick leave, still paid by taxpayers, despite what we found here, 6 golf outings in a matter of 17 business days. In addition, Michigan's Department of Management, Technology, and Budget confirmed to us it's investigating Noel's apparent unauthorized use of the government vehicle. Now, tomorrow on News Channel 3 Live at 5, we're not done here. We're headed to the state capitol, and we can tell you one lawmaker is already drafting legislation to make some big changes here. David Bailey, News Channel 3 I-Team.